Hi everyone, welcome to EsteemPCB Academy. My name is Aviral. Sigrity Aurora 17.4 provides workflow to do crosstalk analysis in any design. In this video, I'll go over a step-by-step process to do crosstalk analysis on parallel data bus. Plus, we'll discuss different ways to see simulation results and plots. So let's get started. In the first step, we will run Sigrity Aurora 17.4 from Cadence program menu. Then from the product option, we have to select either Sigrity Aurora 2 or Sigrity Aurora and click on OK. To open the board file, go to File, Open, browse where file is located, select the file and click on Open button. After opening the board file, we are going to select Crosstalk Workflow from Workflow Manager. In your case, if Workflow Manager is not opened yet, you can go to Analyze and open Workflow Manager from here. Now after opening the Workflow Manager, you have to select Crosstalk Workflow from this drop-down menu. In the next step, I am going to show you where to assign IBIS models to single-ended or differential signals for their input, output or bidirectional signal groups. To do that, click on Set up Default Models. And here we can see we have single-ended input, output and bidirectional models and same for differential pins. I'm going to show you one example to edit or assign single-ended bidirectional model. So as you can see, it has 2.5 volt 10 picofarad default model. I'm going to change it to 1.8 volt 1 picofarad model. To do that, you have to click over Browse button. And from here, I'm going to select 1.8 volt bidirectional model. Just expand it. And here you will find 1.8 volt 1 picofarad model. You have to just select it and click on Open. So as you can see, the 1.8 volt 1 picofarad model is assigned now. Now again, click on OK to close it. Now after assigning default IBIS models to single-ended and differential pins, we are going to assign models to discrete components. To do that, we have to click over Assign Models. And as of now, you can see we don't have any model assigned to all the register components. To do that, you have to click over Auto Generate Discrete Model, which is here. And once you do that, the default models are created and assigned to discrete components. Now in the next step, we have to click on OK to apply these default models. So till now, we have assigned default models to single-ended pins, differential pins, and discrete components. Now in the next step, we are going to assign crosstalk analysis parameters. To do that, you have to click over Setup Analysis option from Workflow, and a parameter setup window will open. Here we can see a couple of options to select simulation mode, select the corner type, select skin resistance, and simulation setups for step response. For now, we will leave it as it is and switch to Aggressor tab. Inside the Aggressor tab, we'll get options to put expected rise time, coupling coefficient, and minimum accepted length for crosstalk. For this tab as well, we'll go with the default values. Click on Apply and OK. Alright, after setting up simulation parameters, it's time to select nets you wanted to simulate for crosstalk analysis. To select a net, you have to click over Select Nets link from Workflow and Net Selection window will open. Now before selecting any net, we have to change the view mode from flat to hierarchical view. And now from here, we can select first byte group from parallel data bus. To select a byte group, you have to select parallel data 0, hold the Shift key and click over parallel data 7. Now click on this arrow to move it to the selected nets side. Now after selecting the byte group, we'll click over Apply and OK. To verify we have selected the nets, we can see a green marker next to Select Nets link. Now stage is set to Start Analysis. To run the simulation, we have to click over Start Analysis link from the workflow. Once the crosstalk analysis is done, which we can verify by green marker next to Start Analysis link, we are good to go for simulation results. To see the simulation results, we have to click on View Crosstalk Table from the Workflow Manager. After clicking over the link, at the right side, we'll get all the list of victim nets and their crosstalk voltages. To sort these crosstalk voltages in decreasing order, you have to double click over here. And as you can see, parallel data bus 7 has maximum crosstalk. If we will expand parallel data bus 7, we'll see different segment has different crosstalk. Now to plot the crosstalk for parallel data bus 7, we have to click over this link. Now here we'll get couple of information. Total aggressor for parallel data bus 7 is 16. So that is in case of U7, as you can see here, and you can plot for each aggressor and parallel data bus 7. At XU2 site, which is our DIM connector, we have 9 aggressor nets next to parallel data 7, which are responsible for crosstalk. Now from this plot, we'll get peak to peak value and verify it's coming in acceptable range or not. Similarly, you can see U27, J1 and U15 also have some aggressor nets which are running next to parallel data 7. And similarly, you can verify the crosstalk for parallel data 5, 3, 1, etc. Now in the next step, we are going to click on View Crosstalk Vision link. Now we can visualize where all these crosstalk is located. To do that, you have to just double click here. And here we can clearly see data bus 7 is running parallel to data bus 5. And from this plot also we can verify the major crosstalk component is parallel data bus 5. Now from this scale you can filter out different voltage levels of crosstalk. To get the more information about particular segment, you have to hover your cursor on the segment and you will get what is the level of crosstalk for that parallel running segment. Alright, so let's summarize this video. Today we have learned how to do post-layout crosstalk analysis using Sigrity Aurora 17.4. See you in the next video.